At this point, we've cut everything. We've cut out, we've cut back, we've cut down, we've cut loose, we've cut up. What else are you all cutting? Next thing I could think of is we're cutting the air conditioning down and our oxygen off. Like,
this is what I got with $20 at Walmart in this economy. About every damn thing was $5. Okay, the chips was selected because, I'm having sandwiches, man. Ain't no turkey bacon because I got some eggs, turkey bacon and rice. Rice lasts long, you know what I'm saying? You could use rice with everything. It's $5. $5. Like, they had 2 for $4.50. And then this was like about $2. And this was the last cheap one too. That's the crazy part. Cause that bunny was about $5. But yeah, this is what I got for $20 in this economy. I just want to let y'all know. This is inflation is high.
Hey YouTube, everywhere online people are talking about the same thing right now. Whether it's grocery bills, rent prices, job hunting, or feeling like every dollar disappears the second it hits their bank account. So while these TikToks are playing in the background, I want to talk about why so many people feel frustrated with the economy and why these conversations keep showing up over and over again. Because for a lot of Americans, the problem isn't just that life feels expensive, it's that the connection between working hard and getting ahead feels weaker than it used to.
I just overheard another lady at the gas station talking to this other guy. He must have been like 70 years old, and he was getting something to eat and buying coffee on his way to work. And I'm like, my God, I feel like fucking old. I'm 50 years old, and this guy's 20 years older than me. He's still going. The lady behind the counter said, I've already got like 30 hours in this week. And I'm like, 30 hours? Christ, it's only Tuesday. Oh, I work 2 jobs. I got to work 2 jobs to pay the bills. My God. She's like, oh, well, it keeps me young. It's like, you got a real positive attitude. I'm like, I'm 50 years old. I can barely wake up in the morning. I go hard all day long, but man, when you hit about 50 years old and your body feels like it's giving out, yeah, that's where I'm at. But God bless these people that can stay positive and work 2 or 3 jobs until they're 75 years old to put food on the table. My God, what a country we live in, huh?
I am on my first 15-minute break. I start my shift at 3 a.m. It's about 4:55 a.m. now, so I'm on my first 15-minute break at work. I work from home in a call center, and let me just say, I feel like I'm just working to survive. Like, the pay that I get barely pays the bills. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I have to take calls all day long, 5 days a week, 40 hours a week. And while I'm very thankful that I get to work from home, I feel so burnt out, and I feel like I work so hard and I don't get to enjoy anything. I'm burnt out on the weekends. Sunday afternoons, I'm already dreading Monday. The weekdays when I get off work, I just bed rot until I have to get up and cook dinner and do homework with my child and everything else. But the biggest issue for me is that I just feel like no matter how hard I work, I don't get anywhere. I can't put money in the savings because I'm barely paying my bills. The cost of living is ridiculous. Groceries are ridiculous. I'm thankful that I don't have to pay gas every week because I get to work from home. But does anybody else feel that way? Does anybody else just feel complete exhaustion and like you don't get any reward for working hard and you don't get to enjoy any of your paychecks and it's just the same day on wash, rinse, and repeat? Let me know, because I just want to know if I'm the only one feeling this way. Like, am I lazy? Do I just not want to work? Or has working just gotten almost pointless at this point, and the only way to really just barely survive is to work?
A lot of people feel like they're constantly doing math in their head now every time they go shopping, fill up their tank, or just pay a monthly bill. The problem is that most stuff people need isn't optional. You could skip buying a new phone or hold off on a vacation, but you still need food, housing, transportation, and basic necessities. When those costs keep on climbing, people start noticing it immediately. What's interesting is that many people aren't talking about luxury items anymore. They're talking about groceries, rent, and just things they need to get through a normal week. Someone can be making way more money than they were a few years ago, but still feel worse off because so much of that increase has gotten eaten up by higher prices. That's where the frustration starts building. People don't necessarily want life to be easy or expect that, but they do expect their paycheck to feel like it goes somewhere. When that stops happening, confidence starts dropping pretty quickly.
I just seen a report, guys, that said about only 25% of people, non-homeowners, believe that they will be able to buy a home in the next 5 years. And if you really stop and think about how insane that actually is for a second, that means most people who do not own homes right now, they believe that they will never have a shot at owning a home, realistically. And honestly, I think we don't talk about it enough about how depressing that is for the working class Americans. Because this is not just people being lazy or bad with money like older generations love to say. The reality is that housing prices exploded, interest rates went up, rent became extremely expensive, groceries are expensive, insurance is expensive, healthcare is expensive, childcare is expensive, and wages have not kept up with the cost of living the way people pretend it has. A lot of people are just barely staying afloat month to month, let alone saving tens of thousands of dollars for a down payment. And yes, before somebody says it, I understand our parents struggled too. Life was not magically easier for everybody back then. But we should also stop pretending that the math is remotely even the same. A lot of older Americans were buying homes when average prices were, compared to income, were dramatically lower than they are now. College was cheaper, rent was cheaper, healthcare was cheaper, and one decent full-time income could literally support an entire household in ways that feel almost impossible for the younger generation today. And honestly, according to experts, this has started to create a psychological shift in America that people are underestimating. Because generations before us they were raised believing that if you worked hard enough, you could eventually build stability. Buy a house, build a family, have a retirement someday. But now we have millions of younger people working all the time, feeling like they're permanently stuck in survival mode, no matter how hard they push themselves. And that's a problem. And that's why a lot of the working class people are angry right now. Not because we all expect, luxury like yachts or mansions and the nicest cars. No, we just want to be able to pay our bills in full and then maybe have some extra to go to Dave & Buster's with our kids without worrying about where that extra money's coming from. We just want a realistic shot at stability without feeling like every year we're falling further and further behind while also being told that the economy is supposedly doing amazing. Because when us regular people stop believing that we can ever realistically build a stable future, that changes a country in ways that politicians should absolutely not ignore. And before somebody comes in saying, well, I made it work so everybody else should too, I say good for you, genuinely. But I want you to understand not everybody starts from the same place mentally, emotionally, financially, or even neurologically. Some people are dealing with anxiety, ADHD, depression, trauma, burnout, disabilities, kids, or jobs that completely drain them every day. Life is not an equal playing field, and I think a little more empathy for struggling working class people would go a very, very long way right now.
Personally, I have never felt like any apartment is actually worth over 4 figures. I don't think any apartment should go over $1,000. Any apartment. I mean, any apartment. I'm being very clear. Any apartment. I don't care about location, any apartment. You better make 4 figures work. I don't understand how this building needs more than 4 figures a month. And they will have you dealing with stuff like elevator never works, delivery people don't come to the right place because location is hard to find, maintenance doesn't do their job, they don't fill out tickets enough. Then they'll have a pet fee, but somehow never include the roaches and rats that come with the establishment. Garbage pickup is late or don't come enough. It's like there's so many small tweaks that they be having, and it's just none of this is worth over 4 figures a month. Honestly, I'm being overly fair because y'all really don't deserve those 4 figures either. Y'all really barely deserve that $1,000 a month. But I just feel like prices have gotten this crazy because they're just slapping any price because they know you need housing. They know you need somewhere to live and they know you're desperate and willing to pay for it. They dangle housing over you because they know people need housing. People over profit is their motto with this.
Another reason people are losing faith is because work doesn't seem to guarantee stability the way it used to. For decades, the basic message was pretty simple. Get an education, find a job, work hard, and slowly build a comfortable life. For some people, that path still works. But the issue is that the growing number of people feel like they're following these steps, and the results are not what they expect. You hear stories about people applying to dozens or even hundreds of jobs without hearing back. Others are finally getting hired and then realizing their paychecks don't stretch far enough after taxes or bills. This creates a weird disconnect between effort and reward. When somebody feels like they're doing everything they possibly can and what they're supposed to, but still can't make meaningful progress, motivation naturally takes a hit. People start questioning whether the system is working the way they were told it would. Over time, that uncertainty spreads into how people view the economy and just the whole world as a whole.
The cost of living is so high, our economy is so bad, and the job market is so bad, to the point where if you don't have a roommate, a significant other, live with your parents, or are on government aid, you are genuinely just cooked. Like, I live in Iowa. My groceries for like a week and a half used to be around $80. It is at least $120 now, depending on what I want to eat. Like, I am not making enough for that. Like, I genuinely feel guilty when buying or eating food. Literally all my money either goes to rent, food, car bill, utilities. I spend nothing on myself. I work my ass off to spend nothing on myself. And this is the situation for most Gen Z, for most people in their early 20s. It's actually insane.
I'm gonna just go on the whole rant. Let's get on the topic of the job market. Ain't no way we all applying and everybody claim they hiring and everybody getting denials. Everybody getting, oh, we decided to proceed with another candidate. Who the fuck is the other candidates if y'all saying no to everybody? I'm just so confused on who y'all hiring if everybody's saying no. The job market should not be this hard. This is really ridiculous. And mind you, I have a job. Thank God, thank to the man above that I have a job. So I'm not unemployed. But I want another one. Like, I can't. I'm tired of this job. I'm just over it. I'm over working at this place. This is ridiculous. And then I have a degree. I'm in a school to get another degree. It's just outrageous. It's getting outrageous, and I'm starting to get pissed off.
The biggest issue might not be what people are dealing with today, but what they think tomorrow is going to look like. A lot of Americans still want the same goals that people have always wanted. They want a house, they want financial security, they want enough savings to handle emergencies without panicking every time something unexpected happens. The challenge is that these goals can feel much, much further away than they used to. Even younger people who aren't paying mortgages yet are watching these conversations happen on them all day. They're seeing adults with careers struggle to keep up with costs. They're seeing families make difficult financial decisions. They're seeing people who thought they were doing everything right still feel stressed about money. That shapes how people think about their own future. If someone believes they'll eventually build a stable life, they're usually willing to work through some short-term challenges. But when that path starts looking less clear, confidence begins fading. And confidence matters more than people realize because economies run partially on expectations about the future. People make decisions based on what they think tomorrow will look like. Right now, a lot of Americans aren't looking for perfection. They aren't expecting to become rich overnight. What many of them want is something much more simpler than that. They want to feel like their effort is leading somewhere. They want goals that feel achievable instead of constantly moving further away. And until more people start feeling that same sense of progress again, these conversations probably aren't going anywhere. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Peace out.